What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel.
Hey, Savannah, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I hate when we have to talk about these kind of topics amongst the college football. But as we get everyone set for 2019, there's some serious business involving Jeremiah Holloman, wide receiver that we just, of course, did our position previews and hit on wide receivers last week. And now there's a big revision to that from a football standpoint. But first of all, I would just always love to know the truth in these situations because it's a horrible thing one way or the other. If a woman has been hit, then that needs to be dealt with severely. If in some cases, as we know in the past, a woman is lying about being hit and somebody else has to pay the consequences of their lie, especially in this environment, then that's a horrible thing too. I would just like to know the truth.
Yeah. Well, I think we all would like to really know the truth. The Covington News broke this last Friday, and it's just like the middle of the afternoon, and all of a sudden, breaking news comes up that Jeremiah Holloman has been dismissed from the team due to an event that happened on April 22nd, 2018. That's, well over a year ago. And evidently that him and his then girlfriend had an altercation where supposedly he hit her, but then there are, reading through the article that the Covington News did, it kind of goes back and forth. She calls his brother to come get her. Then, once he gets there, evidently he reaches around his brother and hits her in the face. And then she goes to the hospital and stuff. To be honest, it's kind of like I don't know really how to explain it other than, this happened. He's on it. He has to pay for the consequences that it happened. And until he decides to tell the truth or until the girl comes forward, because we still don't know who this girl is. Scrolling through this, the article right now, it's redacted from the report. But at the same time, I feel like, if she went to the police department and, let them know. I mean, I understand in domestic cases, the victim always doesn't need to be known. But in this, it happened well over a year ago. It seems like he's moved on. And I don't want to be like a he said, she said kind of thing, but I've also heard through the grapevine that this all came back up after she figured out that he was dating someone else. And in my opinion, it's a lot of he said, she said. I would love to know his brother's input, because they didn't even talk to his brother. He did not want to talk to the UGA police that did the initial report. So it's just kind of I'm still kind of confused about it. I know a lot of dog fans are kind of confused about it. And until we hear from him first person or her first person, it's going to be kind of one of those things where there's a lot of speculation, and I hate having a lot of speculation because I want to know why the leading receiver coming back was kicked off of a team. But she even even in the article, it says the victim wished not to pursue the case criminally. According to the report was forwarded to the UGA Student Conduct Office and the Office of Equal Opportunity. So I'm assuming when it got there, it had to be reopened because he is a student athlete. Other than that, it's just kind of we're going off what this report says, because I don't have access to Kirby down here in Brunswick, and the guys from Rivals and such are kind of reporting the same thing that Covington is. So that's kind of rambling. I'm trying not to take one side or the other, because as a female, I do not condone any violence of that matter. But at the same, like you said, sometimes this happens and the football player ends up being the victim, whereas it shouldn't have even been kind of brought up in the first place. Yeah, I don't want to say anything else because I don't want to make.
Yeah, I'm not taking any sides because I have no idea what happened. But
yeah,
what reportedly happened, what supposedly happened was they had an altercation, Holloman and his girlfriend or whomever she was, and then she didn't feel safe, apparently. She calls his brother to come get her, and this all happened in April of 2018. And then the brother comes, and then in the process of leaving or there being more confrontation, Holloman apparently reaches around his brother and punches her, hits her in the face, and then I guess she's taken away, but then nothing else happens. Nothing's reported. I don't know if they continue to date. Who knows what? what the relationship is past that. But then a year and 2 months later, she reports this to campus police, or campus police find out about this.
Yeah, what the article says is that according to the UJ Police Department incident report, a female victim came into the police department Sunday, June 2nd, to report an assault that occurred around 4 a.m. on April 22nd, 2018. And then, going through that, the biggest catcher is when the police talked to him, he admitted it. And I don't know if they read him his Miranda rights. I'm assuming they always do, because police officers have to be on top of that. But at the same time, why are you not just trying to get a lawyer? Because anything he says against himself, like I told you before we started filming, it can be used against him. And so, in my opinion, I would be calling my mama. I'd be calling somebody to try to help me figure out why this just happened, how I can save myself from it, regardless if he's hitting her in defense, because he told the police officers that she was hitting him first, and so he hit her back in defense. That's still not okay. But at the same time, I want to know why he did not try to call his mama, get a lawyer, or whatever else, because this is pretty serious. And then the fact that she didn't want to press charges, but then all of a sudden she comes back in June, and then that's what's confusing to me, is why did you wait a whole entire year? Because I guess you were dating, so of course you get feelings about somebody, but at the same time, if a grown man like that, someone who works out, they're in 5 to 6 days a week, is on a regimen like that, he's strong. There's if someone like that hit me in the face, I would not want to be around them. And it even says in the article, like, after that happened, that she didn't trust him, or she didn't look at him the same. I don't know. I just can't fathom putting myself in that situation and then waiting a whole entire year, because if someone hit me, I'd want justice to happen right then. So that's what's fishy to me. I just like to say that this is just fishy, and it's interesting because I've met Jeremiah a few times. I've met his mom a few times. I've helped his mom, because she's been in Bulldog Illustrated. JJ's been on the cover. I've interacted with her. They're great people, good family. He says, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. So that's what's confusing to me, is he's not the typical guy that you would think that would get in this situation.
So what appears to have had happened was that he did all those things, but she had feelings for him and was torn between reporting him and not reporting him. And then when the relationship soured for whatever reason, then she had no reason not to report him. So she did report him. That's what it appears. In terms of what Kirby Smart did, I've got to back up his decision because of the admission of guilt. So we've seen in recent years, because of the environment involving these domestic incidents, violence, that football coaches have dismissed players even before they've been proven guilty. I don't agree with that. I know it's a difficult place to be, that you're housing and continuing to play and give a platform for a particular player who most likely has done something that egregious, that wrong, but at the same time innocent until proven guilty. But in this case, Kirby Smart got the admission of guilt from Holloman. So as soon as he admits to guilt, if I'm the football coach, I say bye.
Oh yeah, that's the biggest issue there, is he admitted his guilt, and Kirby Smart did what was best for the football team, especially in I guess you could say in a PR. I don't want to say a PR sense, but in my opinion, if he kept the player on the team until it was finished, all these other it could be like a domino effect. Well, I don't want my son going there because they're just going to allow somebody who is supposedly done this or done that, and so I think he did a great job going ahead and making the decision to dismiss him regardless of what happened. I still wish Jeremiah and his family all the best. I wish the victim, she's in my prayers, and I hope it all turns out for the better. No serious jail time, no serious anything like that. I hope it all gets resolved behind the scenes, and we can look back on this as him having a mistake and him still being able to go on and have a successful career in college and in the NFL.
And unfortunately, because it's a public situation involving a celebrity of sorts, in quotes, because there's perception out there publicly that the person in authority, the football coach, the administration, they have to act a certain way. They can't just deal with the situation as it stands, as it were in private, and do what they felt was the right thing, or wait for a verdict or anything like that. Because of the whole perception aspect of it, then other decisions are sometimes made.
Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.